So hello everybody, welcome back to another Supreme Commander 2 commentary video, and we're on Open Palms today. Yes, we're back with History Games up here, or down here. This map is the one that sent this replay, so we'll get into this match straight away. Obviously, as I just mentioned, History Games in the bottom position, playing as a purple UEF commander. Opening up with double land, going one research station, very standard build there, quite a common build as well, and then there's triple land factory coming from Fitz. He's an orange Cybern commander, and yes, this is also a common build as well, so this is definitely going to be very nice for a very nice easy game for these players here. I can't necessarily say which of these players necessarily has the bigger advantage. I would immediately go with Fitz because of the production that he would have. He has 3 land factories against History Games' 2. But then again, the later the game goes, the more this research station would come into play here, because that the units would get upgrades and things, and they'd get more powerful. Whereas for a while, these units produced by Fitz would get would be the most bone basic way, you know, they wouldn't have any upgrades. And for some reason he started that energy generator. Ooh, I'm not sure about this. He's just switching between the 2 buildings. Not very good. He just start a building and then should finish it. That's very dangerous, really, considering he hasn't got any energy up yet. He's just building 3 land, and both his engineers going for mass extractors. There goes a radar station loyalists coming out of the factories as well. We've got a few rockets coming out of the factories of History Games there, and engineers also getting the mass pads as well. We've got a radar station going to be going up after the mass extractor has been built, so that's quite nice. Engineer, however, going around the back for History Games, not seeing the same for Fidz at the moment, but we do have finally some energy generators going up. A little bit late on those generators, but you know, I don't think it would make that much of a difference. And I think these loyalists will probably be attacking very soon. ACU being moved to the front here, which is actually quite a good play. You want to be able to protect these structures here. They can quickly get sniped off and everything. But he's just focusing on mass 2 energy, which is exactly what you want to go with, because that is not too much, because then you'd have an overabundance of energy or anything. But like, if you're expanding on land factories, which is what he's going to do next, you want to have extra energy generators. So I should hope he'll keep an eye on the count there and increase it if he needs to. And oh my goodness, Peace Shields coming out already for History Games. He's getting the tech out very quickly. I mean, of course, because he has a research station, but he chose Peace Shields, which I suppose is actually pretty good for the first match. Although if he keeps on spamming Peace Shields, the play obviously would be good to go for a Megalith. That's what Fidz would do, but we'll see whether that is the case for this game. Both players standing off in this area, it seems. Neither of them wanting to go in, especially with Fidz, because he hasn't got any shields, he hasn't got any adapters with him. But History Games looking like he has possibly the advantage right now, so he's going to be moving in, forcing loyalists back. No flanking coming from the other side, but at least Fitz is going for these 4 mass pads, so he is getting those resources really quickly. And History Games getting the 3rd energy, which is cool. I mean, you're going to be getting more mass, and that's probably going to lead to more land expansion. Yeah, land expansion, and that's pretty natural. And still trading loyalists. I would have thought he would have put some thrown some Brackman and thrown some adapters in. That would have definitely mixed the forces up, obviously, but it would have definitely given the Fidz more options to counter his enemy. But he's sending them through the middle. This could be a nice move by him, because there's really not a lot protecting the middle. The ACU is quite far away from the mid, and these tanks are still at the right. They're not pushing in, because the loyalists are still there, but History Games has quite an advantage here in this area, but there are lots of loyalists going through the middle. And he's going to go straight to transfer into the left side. I don't know if History Games sees this. I think he does. He's moving his units to the left side. I think he actually sees its attack. But we've got some loyalists in the middle here. They might be joining the ones down here, potentially. But we will see. Let me just speed this up a little bit. Here we go, attack coming from the left. We've got the Rockheads engaging the Loyalists, as well as the P-Shields protecting these tanks, but it looks like they're getting overwhelmed very quickly here. And the right, oh dear, the ACU going to be getting rid of some of these Loyalists, and we're going to be retreating, but they're going to cause some damage later in the game. The P-Shields are going straight to the units, trying to protect those tanks there. Could have easily got overwhelmed, but thankfully have not actually taken any damage. These 3 Loyalists doing a little bit of damage to the structures here. ACU being pulled back. That's not what you should do. You should try, there's the 3rd land factory, but you should try and get this mass as soon as possible, because that will definitely help your economy. These units are going to be having a hard time trying to chase these units around. We do have a gun on one of these land factories, which will be helping the scene at least a little bit. Loads of Royalists getting put out into the middle now. We've got 3 more land factories queued up for FIDS. But FIDS is actually doing really well on the production side. That's a little too many energy generators, I would say. But then again, you know, he's doing a mass production expansion, so you know, I think this is probably so that he can ignore the his energy reduction at least a little bit, because then he won't have to focus on continuously building new energy structures. He can just like build quite a few too many, and that means that if he's still building land factories, he won't have to think about energy until quite a bit later. At least that's what I think. Oh dear, another heavy attack coming from FIDS. I think this is too much pressure being put on History Games right now. He's not put down on a point defense, which I think is a big misplay here, and he's still not collecting the mass. That is a very big misplay. He's still not getting those resources back. He's not getting the mass extractor back. I mean, I know he's trying to assist the factory and stuff, but this is like a huge waste of money here. But I think he's actually going to go and retake this mass pad. He's going to rebuild the radar. I mean, that's good, rebuilding the radar first, and now he's going to try and build the mass, but he's going to have to move the units out of the way, because otherwise that structure can't be placed down. I don't know if he knows that. Oh, there we go. Now he's building. That's quite cool. Now he should collect the mass, if at all possible, with the ACU, and just leave these tanks and stuff to the front lines. Now, he's still training Rockheads and P-Shields. Here comes a Black-Eyed Bomber. Trying to get rid of the Loyalists. Still no adapters, which is very unusual for the Cybran player. He should at least get some adapters out. He knows he's going air now. I mean, I don't know if he scouted it before. I mean, that's the one. That's the air factory there. But he should at least get some adapters out. He's going full on land production. This is definitely going to swarm History Games for the moment, but I mean, he's quickly catching up. This is a 6th land factory right on the front there, but I quite think he's going to get sniped in this position here. But here we go. Rocket's going to be engaging the Loyalists once again. P-Shield's going to be under the strain of all this fire here, but at least the mass extractors will be protected quite a bit. And we've got the ACU building a point defense finally. Loads of mass. Look how much mass he's already lost. Look at all this. I don't think he's actually harvested this, unless I'm wrong and I missed it. But like, oh, look at all this. Look at this giant pool of mass that you could get. You'd need that if you're continuing the land mirror. I mean, 3 more land factories getting trained, so this is definitely going to be a huge land push. And I'm still not seeing any new units. Oh wait, though, there we go. Brackman coming out there. Got a couple of Brackman. And then we've got quite a few Brackman coming out there, but still no adapters. So he's going to struggle against the air fight at least a little bit. So at least if History Games just trains more air factories, he would have dominance in the air and possibly the land as well. I mean, at the moment it's looking like History Games has the upper hand right now. There's an experimental factory going down. He's probably going to get out some Fat Boys or something. Or maybe some Jackhammers. They could probably do some good there. But I'm not sure, considering that his opponent's gone like 9 land factories. I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. But he's doing well. He's defending himself nicely there. His base is pretty much protected. But not see any flanking maneuvers coming from the opponent here. We don't see any sort of change in tactics. I mean, he's continuously going through the middle. Of course, this is what History Games will be expecting. Oh, here we go. There's a bit of suicide. Power detonate. Power detonate going off there. That is not a bad move at all. That does get rid of just over half the forces that History Games had. So that's a big loss. If he can get another group in there, that would be huge. That means that History Games would be left out in the open for another attack. Brighton coming in. They're getting slaughtered by the point defense. They're going to go for the land factory, but the land factory already has a shield. That one bomber coming in as well. No other air units being trained, which is a little weird considering that you've built an air factory. That one air unit will get shot down eventually. Luckily, he's not building any adapters, But my goodness, here we go. 3 land factories now. We've got bombers coming out for the Cyberian player. Fidz is going air and he's transitioning into a more heavy air. So now the tables are turning. Fatboy's coming out. Not too sure about this play, to be honest. We've got the jump. I'll just say jump jets. It's not called jump jets, but it's going to be called jump jets. We've got the jump jets from the Cyberian. We've also got power detonate. So if he just pulls together enough units, it can swarm that unit and kill it instantly. So I'm not too sure about this play. And we've also got the air swarming over the gantries as well, continuously pumping out fat boys. I mean, look, there we go. Did we just see one? I don't know, but yeah, they're still building units there. I'm not too sure about that move, but he's still not doing anything. I mean, he's got, oh my god, look how many land factories he has. It's insane. I think he's run out of resources as well. He's not gone and taken this area here. Fidz has not gone around the back and taken the mass pan, so he's definitely going to be dried up on resources right about now. This leaves History Games with a nice opening to go and attack his enemy, and I think this is what he's doing now, pushing up with loads of rockheads. We've got artillery, I think, yeah, we've got artillery, we've got P-shields, and we've got that one fat boy as well. Got to be taking some shots out these loyalists here. A few of them do go down. And we've got lots of bombers here, so he really wants to keep that fat boy inside the shields, but that's going to go down very quickly. Or actually, not quite as quickly as I thought that would happen, but still, it's going to take a lot of damage. So that's a bit of a misplay coming from History Games, but at least that's not too serious. He's not lost the unit, so at least he's not like made a huge mistake. He's just taken some damage. Just needs to keep unit inside the P shield, which is not doing. The fat boy is way too big. And the power detonate, where's the power detonate? You could literally use the power detonate right now and take out the fat boy. That would be the ideal time to do that. 3 fat boys, here comes some kind of upgrade for the land units. One of them almost dead, but no power detonate being used. Oh, is this power detonate coming in there? Nope, the units get killed way too quickly. I think this is going to be game for Fidz. I think History Games has won this engagement right now. Yeah, I think this is game over. I think History Games has got the firepower that he needs. He's going to be swarming into that base, and then that's going to be it. So I think this is GG right now. Yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed this replay. Quite a nice, entertaining match there. Quite a few mistakes made by Fidz, and History Games was quite good, I think. So, you know, he did pretty much everything correctly. But Fidz didn't go for the expansions. He went mass land. I mean, you're going to run out of resources eventually. I mean, look how many factories. Yeah, I think he had like 12 factories, land factories, and then he had 3 air factories as well. He's putting too much time and effort into building units instead of just collecting resources. I mean, look at all these pads he missed. I mean, he could have just gone around and got the extra resources that he needed. And he also needed to get that as well. And he didn't even flank as well, which was a big problem. I mean, there was this area that he could have eliminated. That's 4 mass extractors, and then there's like 7 energy and a research station and 4 air. That's quite a big collection of structures that he could have eliminated with power detonate, but he didn't, and that was a missed opportunity there. But hopefully you have enjoyed this cast. This was sent in by History Games, and yeah, you're doing pretty well actually. I'd say that's a very good play there. But obviously you did win also because your enemy player did knock out megaliths. I think because you went a lot of P shields and rockheads, that would definitely be a good counter, but it just didn't, and therefore he lost his chance and everything. But thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope that I'll see you in another video of Supreme Commander 2. Bye bye now.